Welcome back to the channel. Check out my new frickin' 1993 Honda Dio Special Edition. This thing is beautiful. It's already equipped with the Melosi 70cc big bore kit and some kind of V8 exhaust. Sounds pretty sick. This thing is in amazing condition. I want to keep it that way. I don't want to wreck it. And of course, we got some performance parts. We got some grips. These aren't the color that I wanted. I wanted pink or I wanted yellow. This wasn't the yellow that I wanted. See that? It's like more like fluorescent. So I don't know if I'll put these on. Probably get a different color. And then we got stage 6 throttle assembly. Get that nice snappy ping, 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 you know what I'm saying? And then this big boy right here.
This big boy right here.
This is the TFC drag racing CVT transmission. You know what I'm saying? This should wake this bike up pretty good. So we're gonna get all this stuff installed. We'll take it for a rip, you know? Just got it safetied because I got it from Manitoba. I'm pretty happy with this unit, you know? And then this getup right here. I had to trim the back rack a little bit because it was a little bit big. Because with this getup, when I'm ripping in the summertime, bing, 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 you know, I don't have any room for chicks. You know, I'm engaged. I can't. They're gonna be flocking with this flow, you know? So I gotta be like, hey, honey, I ain't got room on the scoot for you. Can't do her. All right, let's quit dicking around. Let's get these parts on. Let's take it for a rip. I'm so excited. This thing is mint. All right, guys, we got the stock stuff off. I never dug into this bike yet. So what I noticed is, I don't know if you can tell, look how sideways you can see where those pads were grabbing. Those are all supposed to be straight. They're very crooked. So the pad was only grabbing right to that shiny spot there. Like, this is how what they're supposed to look like. They're supposed to be straight. Now this new one here, the ramps inside here are a lot more smooth than, say, this one. And these nubs here are a lot higher, so this plate can travel up higher. So the springs that are in here and the spring it came with, I'm just going to use everything exactly how the kit came, because it came with the spring, came with the springs already loaded in here. All I got to do is put it back together. So like this clutch bell, this is heavy. This one is a lot lighter, and it's kind of gritty on the inside, so those pads have something to grip to. Should be pretty snappy. And we got 3 different sizes of rollers. We got 7, 8, and 9 gram rollers. We'll put it all on there, and then we'll see what we need to trim, because there's gonna need some trimming. Because if I put this on, like, it fits, but damn, she tight. So I'm assuming like these little humps here will have to get ground down a bit, and maybe up there, that hump there. Yeah, we'll just have to put it on and see what we need to trim. Got it all on, it went on nice and easy. What I noticed is if I use this piece here, I don't have enough key stock left on there to use the kickstart, because the stock one, it's got that starting thing already on it. So I could put this one back on instead of this one, because the kickstart is nice to have. So I'll try this for now and get it all dialed in. And then I'll switch to this stock one, and then I'll see if there's any performance difference at all. And if there isn't, then I'll probably put the stock one on. But as you can see, I'll have to trim a little bit there, a little bit there, and some down right there. A little bit. But let's get to grinding.
2,000 years later.
All right, I got it all on. I had to add 2 cork gaskets to separate this cover from the case so the kickstart would work. Belt's riding nice and up there, which is perfect. So I'm curious to see what it'll be like. All right, only thing left is to put this back cover on, and then we'll take it for a rip, see what it's like. Here we go. I don't have the back cover on because I still got to do some trimming. But yeah, let's take this thing for a rip. Oh my God. It like kicks in like right now, like it's first gear. All this ice is still here. Holy. Oh, this one lifts the front end up really easy. Okay, look at all this fucking ice. Let's take the sidewalk, I guess. This one's a lot lighter than my other scooter. Oh, it lifts the front end up so easy. Dude. Oh my God. This thing's an animal, man. I wish it wasn't so freaking cold. The test drive went pretty good, but when I got back, it was kind of like bogging a little bit. And you know, I tried playing around with the jets a little bit, and it didn't get any better. I was looking around at the engine and stuff like that, and I noticed the one fuel line had a little bit of rust particles in it. So the bike's on the table, it is stripped right down. I looked inside the tank and there was a bunch of rust. That's not good. Put a bunch of nuts in the tank, a little bit of water, shook the living piss out of it to break up all the rust, and then pressure washed it out, dried it out, and it's back in. Little to no rust inside the tank now, so it's just like surfaced flake. Took apart the fuel pump. There was nothing in there actually, which is sweet. Took a look at the old fuel filter. Look at all the rust and stuff in there. Brand new filter, brand new lines. And then I ordered some more stuff. Just waiting for it now. While we wait for those things, I'm not gonna tell you yet, but while we wait, what I was thinking, how I had to shave the case down to make this oversized CVT transmission work. When you put this cover back on, you need like 3/8 worth of gaskets. Like you pile on the gaskets, and then, you know, it was working fine. When you tighten it down, like torqued it down to spec, it would squish those gaskets too much, and the gear that's on here for the kickstart, it would rub sometimes. So what I figured, I traced the case. This is just the back half. I traced it onto a piece of paper, and what I think I'm gonna do, get off of here. I think we might cut this out in aluminum with the arc droid. So then instead of a gasket, it'll be one nice aluminum piece all the way along here, and then those covers will go on nice and quick, and you don't have to fumble with gaskets and stuff like that. It might be a little hard to cut out, because it is so thin. You know, it might warp a bit, but it's aluminum, it can be bent back. Once you get it on here and the case torqued down, it'll flatten that out. if it does warp. Another thing that I did, this is the oil pump. I deleted the oil pump. So I took this off and I pulled the gear out, and then I just put these rubber caps over there. You can get a plug that actually comes off, or it takes the oil pump off, and then a plug goes in there. You can also just take this off, take the gear out, and as long as you plug these ends, then you're good. From now on, I'll have to mix my gas, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. Actually, you know what? I'll just tell you what I ordered. I'll tell you, because you're gonna see it in this video anyway. If you're wondering why I did the oil pump delete, is because I bought stage 6 PWK 24 millimeter, I think I ordered, carburetor, and a whole new intake. So it'll be a big intake, bigger carb, and it'll just be a lot easier to play around with jets and stuff like that. Let's trace this out onto some aluminum, and let's cut it out. Let's see if it'll work. Fire up the arc droid. I haven't used it in forever. All right, I got my piece of aluminum with my part that I traced on some paper, and I'm gonna cut it out with the arc droid. I'm gonna use the simple trace feature. So I will literally just go around the whole thing with this little stylus pen, all the way around the inside first, because it'll cut the inside first, and then I'll go to the outside, and then cut the outside, and then that file will be saved on here. Cut as many as I want. This is 10 gauge aluminum, so I'll need about 3 of them. It's gonna take a long time, but I'm hoping it'll be worth it. All right, let's get tracing. All right, there's my trace part. I want to be really clear. It's going to be really rough, but that's fine because I gotta clean it all up with the grinder anyway. Yeah, let's see how she cuts. Haven't used this thing in forever. Well, I forgot to record this first one. It didn't really turn out. Like, rough is an understatement. We'll try it again, a little bit slower cut speed, and hopefully it doesn't turn out in 3 pieces like it did before. Well, it still didn't turn out. This one ended up in 4 pieces this time. You know, it's not the arc droid's fault. It's me tracing it, because tracing it's easy, but it's good for like simple parts like squares, triangles, circles. Like, yeah, you can do something like this, but the amount of detail that I need, like if you made it in CAD, I'm pretty sure that's the only way you could really get away with it. Just tracing it is usually, I'm not surprised. It is a lot of work just to trace it all out and for have it to turn out like that. Instead of do this, I think I'll just go get some plastic PVC, and then I'll trace that piece of paper that I'd made. I'll trace that onto some thick PVC plastic, and I'll just use PVC plastic. It's easy to cut, it's easy to shape. I can cut it out with a jigsaw. But hey, we tried. Okay, so the aluminum method didn't work. I got some 3/8 just PVC plastic. So I glued my template onto the PVC. So I'm gonna use the scroll saw. We're gonna cut out the inside and then the outside, and that should be way better than aluminum. Be a lot cleaner, easier to work with. All right, we got these pieces cut out of ABS plastic. They turned out pretty good, actually. A lot better than the aluminum. They're actually pretty smooth, pretty clean. So I made them in two different pieces just because the case is in 2 different parts. So yeah, obviously that'll go onto there, and then the back one. Let's throw this case on and everything, and then move on to the next thing. So this piece, oh, it just presses on so nice. Got some nice black hardware. It's super deadly. All right, let's see if it all fits. Excuse me, starter. Get in your hole. Get in your hole. Click, clack, rat-a-tat. Let's get it in there. Get it in. Come on. Huh? Yeah? Oh, these things bite so much better. Oh! Oh! Dude, is that ever nice? And then we'll just put this little guy in there. Boom. Did I show you this new kickstart? Look at this. Look at this. Straight from Amazon. Aluminum. You know what I'm saying? Aluminium. We're just playing the good old waiting game for that carb to come in. Get the intake and that carb. Oh, it'll just look freaking horny. Okay. We got the Stage 6 24 millimeter racing carb. And then we got this Naraku. Come on, come on. Look at that big old intake. Ooh. Okay, well, I'm gonna get these all unboxed here and then we'll take a closer look. We got the aftermarket intake unboxed. Same with the carb. Look at this thing. Let's look at the difference between the stock intake and the aftermarket. That's all the air that went into that motor. Look at the difference. Like, this isn't a part of the intake. Like that's blocked off. Look at the freaking difference. We're gonna be sucking
Real good.
Look at the hole size difference. Fucking what the fuck? What the hell? Oh, the reeds are in it. Look at it. Oh, it farted. How come it didn't fart that time? Look at that. So the new reeds, these are the stock reeds. Look at the difference. Isn't that nuts? Crazy. Main jet is a 120 and our pilot jet is a 38. Leave that for now. Throw this on and see what it does. See how she do, you know? Alright, so when I put that cable in, it kind of sits, you can kind of see it down there, it kind of sits into a little groove. So when you put your throttle all together, if you have some slack in your throttle cable, you can adjust this top screw to take the slack out. So then when you have no slack, you have a nice snappy top. Woo! That's sick. Alright, I turned it over a handful of times just to get the fuel through the line. And it actually started, and it ran awesome. What the hell is that frickin' ting-ting-tingling sound? What the fuck is that, man? What is that sound? I figured it out. So that tinging sound was this starter gear. There's a hole in the case that this end fits into, but since I added that spacer, it was barely in that hole of the case, so it had some movement. It would still work for starting the bike, but the gear would sometimes touch against the gear in here, because you need to have that spacer in there for the kickstart to work, and if you don't, then that inner piece can rub against the inside of the case, the one gear. So that makes sense why lots of guys will have all this stuff done to their bike, but they won't have the electric start. They'd always kickstart it. You know, it's doable to have both. I'll just kickstart it, whatever, man. It runs good, like right out of the box. I'd have to test drive it, obviously, and all that stuff, but what really sucks is I can't really take it out for a rip because it's freaking snowing. I want to start getting into like building stuff from scratch again. So this will probably be the last scooter video until spring, until it gets nice out. And then as soon as it becomes spring and I can do more scooter videos, take the scooter out, I ordered a whole variety pack of rollers for the scooter from all the way from 3 grams to 14 grams. So I'm going to make a big in-depth video of changing through all these different rollers to see exactly what it does with this different springs in the back, and you know, I'm gonna make a really big video on how all those different springs and rollers work. So for right now, I got to if you have any ideas of what I can build from scratch, I'm thinking like some kind of drift cart or something. That'll be it for this one. I'm gonna slap this thing back together, and once it gets nice where we can start testing and tuning this thing, I think it'll be a lot of fun. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. But if it ain't upgraded, you gotta upgrade it. See you guys in the next video.